Hey everyone, as you may know from past videos, I like to play a lot of different mid laners, with some of them being off meta and rarely seen. When I find picks like this that are strong, enemy mids have a really tough time dealing with it, so they don't have much experience against the champion. Well, after the recent patch, I've found a new favorite off meta mid pick, Master Yi. Yi has a lot of things that make him strong in mid. He's easy to play, he's really fun, he snowballs hard, but my favorite thing is, he scales so well that you can come back from almost any game when you hit your power spikes. And these are the exact reasons he's insanely overpowered in low ELO. And you know what else helps you climb out of low ELO? Skillcap.com. We teach you how to carry the worst teammates imaginable because we know just how hard low ELO can be. Most players don't realize the game literally needs to be played completely different in gold than what you'll see in high ELO streams or pro play if you want to climb quickly. And the best part about Skillcap is that it's completely risk-free with our rank improvement guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Check out skillcap.com, the link's in the description below. With all that being said though, today I'm going to break down how to play Yi mid, what to build, runes, all that good stuff. So let's get started. In this first game, I'm playing Yi vs Sylas and Masters. I want to cover the laning phase, since that's the part players would have trouble with. Since Yi is an AD champion and Sylas is AP, I'm stronger at level 1 and won't hesitate to all in if Sylas overextends. And right away the Sylas makes a small mistake as he walks up and autos me. This is where the recent buff to Yi has been an insane help in lane. They buffed his attack range, so you don't have to be so close to auto someone now. I don't jump in with Q there though, because Sylas probably started E, so if I Q him, he would just E away. I want him to use E to jump in so I can punish with an all-in. But after that, I collect the last hit. Then since I have no last hits to get, and I see Sylas looking to get one, I prepare to contest it with an auto attack. This is where I learned Sylas started W and not E. So after grabbing these next two last hits, we have a situation that is very common when playing Yi. When they have only 3 or less minions left like this, you can use Q and it will let you damage them from far away. You'll come out of Q on the target you used it on. We'll see more examples of this later. But right now, I'm thinking Sylas is going to try and use W on me, and I want to use Q to dodge it. So when you walk close, I use Q, but he didn't use it. When I came out of Q, he used W, which isn't a good decision from him, because of the fact that I'm an AD champ. So from there, I just go all in until he's too close to tower. I get a lot of damage there, and I have 3 potions still, as I started longsword and 3 pots. Now I continue to push the wave and hit level 2, until we're brought to that same scenario from before. He has 3 minions, and he's looking to use W on me. This time, I time my Q right and completely avoid his W. I made sure to use Q on the minion so he couldn't bring me into tower with him with his E afterwards. Using Q to dodge or avoid the enemy laner's abilities is essential to playing lane Yi, especially if you dodge a crucial ability like Sylas W, Syndra Stun, or TF Gold card. Anyways, I crash the wave and go drop a quick ward on top side. Then, when I get back to lane, it's the third wave and both waves are even. This is important because both of us are 2 minions from level 3, so I'm focused on hitting minions to make sure he doesn't hit level 3 way before me and then all in and kill me. Now that we're both level 3, Sylas is required to have some kind of knowledge on how my champion works in lane. If Sylas jumps in, he needs to know exactly how much damage he can do, because if he doesn't kill me, I'm going to shred him with how much extended damage I can do. He really needs to know his limits. You're going to see what I'm talking about here in a sec, but first Sylas is going to W me like this, and then I cancel my auto. Because of the attack range buff, I can sneak in an auto to pop his bone plating. Then Sylas makes the mistake of jumping in with his E like I talked about, so I use E and then Q him. This is another buff that Yi got. He can choose where he appears after Qing someone by right clicking. So I appear on the front of Sylas, but he thought I'll appear behind him, so he misses his E. With my Q and E damage, I almost kill him and he's forced to flash away. I could have flashed and killed him with my double strike, which is my passive. Basically after 3 autos, Yi hits twice, and this applies the true damage from his E. I didn't flash because I didn't want to risk not being in range when he's already in such a bad spot now. Because at this point, the wave is pushing to me, and he has no health and no flash. So he will have to take a bad recall or overstay and die unless his jungler bails him out. So I'm going to auto minions to trim the wave down, but still make sure he has more minions than me so it stays pushing to me. Then I see he's going for this low minion, so I walk up to contest it. Because I avoided his W last time with my Q, he just auto attacked me here first and didn't use W. He was trying to bait me. I knew he would do this though, so I just used E and autoed him, then used Q and one last auto to finish him off. When I get back to lane, I take a bit of damage from Sylas since he has a really big wave. I can't all in with a wave that big, but I want to talk about Yi's W, as it's an extremely OP ability now in my opinion. They made it so the cooldown of my W is now 9 seconds instead of 28, and it costs 40 mana, plus the longer you channel it, it keeps draining mana. Also, instead of it granting a flat amount of damage reduction while channeling, it grants 90% at the start of the channel, then goes down to the normal 60% for the rest. Basically, this was a huge buff to lane Yi because now Yi can use W way more often and can use it to nullify damage almost entirely if timed right, especially for champions with burst like Echo for example. If you W the moment Echo jumps on you to pop its passive, it does barely any damage, and only costs 40 mana if you're just tapping your W. In this current scenario, I'm going to use W in two different ways. First, I just channel it for a bit as Sylas uses Q to nullify the damage and to heal. Since I had plenty of mana, I channeled the entire thing. Also, the cooldown of the W starts when you start channeling it, not when it's done. So after channeling my W there, it has a 5-second cooldown left. That's pretty insane. Anyways, after collecting some last hits, I'm level 5, and the lane is in a prime spot for Yi. When the wave is close to your tower like this, you want to look for all-ins, as the enemy will be so far from their tower you can just run them down. And if they don't know how much damage you do, they will disrespect you quite often like the Sylas does here. He walks up to trade, so I just pop E and all in. Then when he jumps away with the E, I use Q. And to finish him, I use the W auto cancel, which is another important part to playing E. Your W resets your auto attack, meaning you can auto, then press W and right click them, and you will auto again instantly. Alright, let's look at another example now. In this next game, I'm playing Yi vs Viego. Since Viego is also a really strong champion at level 1, I have to play this matchup a bit differently. I'm basically just going to be trying to avoid Viego Q as much as possible. If he doesn't hit me with it, which means he won't apply the mark, then I can trade auto attacks with him. In the previous patch, it would be nearly impossible to do this, but with the auto range buff, I can actually trade back with him. It feels really nice. At this point in the lane, I know he'll hit level 2 first, so I'm just letting the wave push in. Once it crashes and starts pushing back to him, I'll look for all-ins. That's kind of an important part of playing Yi though. Understanding that most of your trades will be straight up all-ins, or small poke from using Q on minions and hitting the enemy champion with it. The good thing is, you do an insane amount of damage, but it makes you have to pay attention to where the jungler is sometimes, so you don't go in when the enemy jungler is waiting there. Anyways, I collect the wave on the tower and use Q at the end to hit the Viego when he tries to trade with me. Then he goes to auto me, and look at that range I have. It can't be understated how important this is for laning. Alright, like I said, I needed the wave to crash, then I would look for all-ins. We're at that part now. First, pay attention to this minion that's going to run into tower range. Remember in the last lane, when it was the third wave, me and Sylas were both 2 minions away from level 3. Me and Viego were in the same spot, and one of his minions just ran into tower, so now I'm 1 minion from 3. I know I'm going to level up first, so I pop a potion and focus a minion down. As soon as I level up, I walk towards the Viego, use E and flash on him. My plan was to flash on him, then use Q when he flashed, but I was just barely out of range sadly. Now I want to make sure he can't get any CS for free, so anytime a minion gets low, I look to engage with Q like this. I get some damage on him, then start walking away since he's too far. This is where that lack of knowledge comes into play like I talked about. Viego needs to know how much damage I can do, but he doesn't, since he probably has never played versus E mid. So he tries to trade back with his W like this. Then I use E and auto once, then use the auto W trick to reset my auto into a passive double strike and finish him. As you can see, the damage output with E on is pretty crazy. Alright, so now that you know how laning works, let's talk about stuff outside of that. Yi is just like any other duelist, where he excels at getting picks and side laning. In this game, I'm pushing side lane and have one item, Bork, which is a crazy power spike for one item. This means if I find pretty much anyone alone in a lane, I can run them down. After pushing side lane, I rotate to mid and notice a Kalista overextended without mid tier 1 trying to push mid wave. So I just pop my ult and run her down for a free kill. This is another great part about Yi, he's so fast, he really punishes enemies that are overextended. Then a few minutes later, I'm doing the same thing, pushing side lane to tower while paying attention to the map. Since I know nobody is coming, I take the tier 2 tower. Then I head towards the fight in mid since I have a good flank angle. Yi excels at cleaning up and getting to fights later. So this is exactly what I'll be looking for. You normally don't want to be the first one into a fight. But once I'm there, I pop ult and focus Kalista first, since she's the most important target. Notice how exhaust doesn't even really stop my damage because of the true damage on my E. But then I leave the Braum to chase Kha'Zix since killing Kha'Zix is more important. It took a while, but we got him eventually. You can also just straight up assassinate people as E. In this scenario, I know the enemy Kha'Zix wants Scuttle, so I walk into this brush and wait. As soon as he gets close, I pop E and all in, and save my Q for his E so he can't get away. So you can see how Yi doesn't have any crazy playstyle after lane. It's the same as most other melees, except Yi is so fast, he really punishes people that are overextended. Alright, now let's wrap things up with items and runes. For runes, I pretty much always go the same page. Lethal Tempo with Resolve Secondary. Demolish is really nice for split pushing and getting tower plates, and Lethal Tempo is just too insane on Yi to not take it. For items, I have 2 main builds. Both of them, I always rush Bork. Bork is so good on Yi. After Bork, I either go Sunfire into Titanic Hydra and Wit's End and Rageblade, or I'll go Bork into Kraken, then Rageblade, then tanky items like Randuin's. Both of these builds can be used in any game, but I normally go the Kraken build if I'm behind, and the Sunfire build if I'm ahead and snowballing. Try them both out. For summoner spells, I always go Flash Ignite for melees and Flash TP for ranged, but you can take Ignite vs ranged too if you want. Alright, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little more about Skill Capped. So we offer a 5 division rank up guarantee, and think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered that, right? Not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week with over 2,000 guides curated into over 270 courses. No one can compare. We've also sent challenger players into ELO hell over 1,100 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month to improve fast and get the rank you've always wanted. The link's in the description below. Alright guys, so that's going to finish my quick guide on Yi mid. He's super fun and really good now, so I hope you enjoy playing it as much as I have. That's going to bring us to the end of this one. Thanks for watching.